Going guys, so back for another review. This time we'll look at, well, we'll just show you and we'll work it out together. Is it possible to run air fryer and induction on off-grid camping setup? So this time we're going to go through, can you run an induction or an air fryer off a 1500 watt inverter? It doesn't have to be any particular 1500 watt inverter, it just happens to be that this is a King's one. Now, at the moment we've got battery system out of the caravan because we're doing a bit of testing on the battery. Charging, discharge, that sort of stuff, and also helps with backup power. Right, so for this test, King's inverter, Renogy 200 watt lithium battery. Now this battery is rated to 200 amp discharge, so this will work great with this. For a 2000 watt inverter. Alright, so don't mind the voltage on this. We've been having issues with this particular monitor and shunt, so we're looking at upgrading that. So what we'll do, we'll just pay attention to the amps and the watts. That seems to be more accurate than the voltage and the amp hours. So we'll turn the inverter on, wait for a kick on. Now this induction we paid, I think it was like 50-60 bucks from Kmart. Alright, so work same sort of principle with any other induction. Now remembering that that's only a 1500 watt inverter, so what we'll do is we'll turn it on. With this one you've got to push the little middle icon, and just to start with we'll set it on 1200. So as you can see, drawing 125 amps to 126 amps at 1.4 kilowatts, being 1400 watts. Alright, so on startup, even at 1200 watts, it'll still draw a little bit more than 1200 watts on startup. Once it starts getting warmer, that'll drop down. Now I'm not going to run this for too long, only because we're going to upgrade the cables on the inverter. Now, these are the cables that came with the inverter. Now they say they're rated to 150 amps, but the rubber plastic around the wiring actually starts getting a bit melted after a while. So that's one thing we do have to look at long-term usage, upgrading them. So yeah, as you can see, 126 amps, 1.4 kilowatts, and the water's already starting to boil a little bit. Alright, now those cables are starting to warm up a little bit, so what we'll do is just shut it off, and as soon as it shuts off, it just drops straight back down, minimal. Alright, now with this induction, the fans do stay on for a little while, so I'll just turn this inverter off. So yeah, the King's inverters are cheap, but for what value you get out of them, we can run 1500 watts constant for up to an hour with different cables, not a problem at all. As I said, when the induction starts warming up a bit more, it doesn't sit at 1400 when we've got it set at 1200. So once it drops off to 1200, we actually increase the induction up to 1400, and it sits on 1400 to 1500, no worries. Does trip out from time to time, but we just keep an eye on the usage. If not, just keep it 1000 watts, 1200 watts. But with a 3000 watt inverter, you could run a 2000 watt induction, not a problem at all. So yeah, is it possible to run air fryer and induction on off-grid camping setup? Yes. 1500 watt, just have to put it on a lower setting. 2000 watt to 3000 watt inverter, yes, but make sure upgrade cabling. Don't go with the cabling that comes with the inverter. Obviously, yes, it can do that, but it's not designed to pull for long periods of time. And these do draw a lot of power really quickly, and the last thing we do is melt wiring, burn any caravan, car, what have you. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.